Good morning, all. Miracle Rising. People are interesting. And people are interesting. People are unique. You know, something came to me when I left work yesterday. I thought to myself, I don't really yearn for people to be normal. What is normal? I don't consider myself normal by any means. But what I yearn for is people to not be weird. To not be weird. To not be fake. To not be disingenuine. To not be inauthentic. To not move in their truth. And stand up for what's right. Whatever that looks like for them. And so it's one of those things. We live in a really unique world right now where there's so many inauthentic people and people that are choosing by choice and free will to not stand against what's right and wrong. And because they're choosing not to stand against it or stand up for what's right, they then go into this world and overly be disingenuine, overly be inauthentic, overly be fake, overly carry false facades, and you can see through it because it's extra. It's too much. It's too much. And when they're just being overly nice or overly giving or overly extra or overly descriptive when it comes to the adjectives that they use to describe someone or something, like you can just see it, you can feel it, especially when you're someone that's not walking like that. You're like, hey, this is me, flaws and all, mistakes and all, and this is me. And then you have people that are like, no, we don't make mistakes. We make zero mistakes. We are perfect. We're so perfect that we're amazing and we're splendid and we're phenomenal and we're all of these things. And it's like, it just doesn't even make sense. That said, a few things came to me. And so we're just going to go down my little handy dandy nugget list. People want you to be upset based off the things they do and say to you. Why you are the one not doing them. It's like people want you to be upset based off things that they do or say to you. But why would you be upset? They're the ones doing them and they're the ones saying them. So why would you be upset about that? It would be different if you're the one doing it and saying it. Yeah, you'd be upset because you'd be like, why am I doing that? Why am I saying that? But seeing as you're not the one doing that, why would you be upset? It's not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. You see? And these are kind of the mindsets that we have to start kind of trying to adopt. It's a hard thing when people do it intentionally, and there's a lot of people in this world doing things intentionally because they're getting paid to. Or they have to, because, better yet, if they were being true and truly did or said the things that they want to do, somehow along the way, the truth would come out. And so they have to keep carrying this fake mask. They just do. When you accept something as is, you're taking it as the condition it is in. For example, poor treatment, behavior, actions, governing, etc. You have to hold the line of accountability, and it starts with yourself. That's the thing, is like when you purchase something as is, you purchase a car as is, you're buying it as is, right? You're accepting it, the condition that it's in. Well, it's kind of like that with people, and it's like that with relationships. It's like that with friendships. It's like that with business relationships. Employers you work for, colleagues you work alongside, your governor or your governing, your politicians, you're accepting it as is if you don't say something, like, oh, okay, this is how they are. They're basically being deceitful, corruptive. They're standing on injustice. Okay, so this is how they are. So if we don't say anything, if we don't ask questions, if we don't balk back, then we're accepting it as is. And that's what they're hoping. They're hoping that we give up and we just accept the crap as it is. But then when you accept things as it is, you have to take the lickings as they come because you accepted it as is, right? Unless you say something, you stand up to it, there's not going to be any change. And that's in your personal life. That's in all facets of your life. You have to accept that. It's just the truth. It's the balancing of it. If you want to be treated a certain way, if you want to stand on a certain thing, if you want to carry out your morals and your values and your ethics and your honorability and your integrity for your children to see, and your legacy to come and your generations to come, then it starts with you. It starts with you. Dance in the dark and understand how they operate. It's different when working on from the dark side. Yeah, when you're someone that's been through so much different facets of the world, and you've seen the dark, you see how the people operate in the dark, you see how they move, you see how they think, you can start recognizing who they are, how they operate, and be surrounded by people in the dark, but you don't have to operate like them. You don't. Not by any means. You just kind of sit back and you're like, whoa, they really did that. They really said that. Okay, I'm going to table that. I'm going to keep on moving. This one just came to me this morning. I see so many videos on my algorithm, on all algorithms, all platforms, talking about justice is incoming. Justice is on its way. Justice, justice, justice. And for me, at first, in the beginning, in the last few years, I thought that justice was coming. I thought that true justice was going to prevail. I thought that Trump was going to drain the swamp. I thought that DeSantis was going to do something. I thought my leaders and those in power and those that carry a substantial role would do something in reference to the corruption, in reference to all the illegal things that have transpired around me, towards me, and just this whole entire situation of things. And not even just with me, but with Charlie Kirk, with the Epstein files, with this war, with everything. We all thought that, right? And then you kind of wake up to it and you're like, well, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. I'm not sure that justice is coming. And so it's one of those things where, for me personally, I've come to the mindset in my mind where it's like, I'm not waiting for justice to come. I'm standing in my truth. And by me standing in my truth and me standing and speaking up for myself and not allowing the world around me to make me feel some sort of way based off things that they do and say and they inflict, make me feel any other way than what I know my truth is. And so because I know that with every beacon fiber bone in my body, I'm standing in my justice. My justice is here. I walk in my justice. That is my justice. Period. And so I think that when we get to a world when you start recognizing that if you want justice, your justice becomes your truth, your ability to persevere, your ability to have the will to survive, your ability to not allow that illusion, that tactic, that hardship, that obstacle to take you down, but learn from it, grow from it, evolve from it, gain wisdom from it. And so once you start adopting these characteristics within yourself, you start walking in your justice. You start walking in your truth. For all those in your surrounding world, your surrounding reality, whatever that looks like for you, because we're all fighting the same thing, just in different ways. Absolutely, in different ways. Everybody fights betrayal. Everybody fights pain. Everybody fights hurt. Everybody fights systematic abuse. Everybody fights cyber attacks. Everybody fights fraud. Everybody fights bots. Everybody does. Everybody fights spiritual warfare in some kind of way, shape, or form. Even if you believe or you don't believe, you're still fighting warfare, baby. We all are. We all are. And so it becomes one of those things when you recognize that, and you recognize that justice is achievable. It's within you. It's within you. You have the power to prevail in your own justice and your own truth by not allowing the world around you to take away who you truly are, take away your peace, take away your happiness, take away your joy, take away your desire to live and enjoy the moment that you're living in. All of those things you have control over. You can't give that to a world that doesn't deserve it. You know what I mean? And so we have to get to a place